We're back. I'm High C. I got Bruiser, Big Play Nate, Gunslinger, and Mystery Machine. We are moving on to our What the What video. If you did see our opening video that we just, hopefully you just watched, we are trying a new format for our videos this week. So we are attempting to do separate videos instead of our one massive video. If you like it, leave a comment on any video. It doesn't matter. Drop a like. Please subscribe to our videos to get more of us. We're doing two What the Whats today. We're doing a What the What from Bruiser, who one of his favorite players is falling apart. And we got a What the What from Mr. Machine coming from the Lone Star State. Or should I say, the Lone Quarterback State? Question mark. It's Bruiser. You're up, man. Give us your What the What for today.
All right. Well, everybody knows the projected first pick in fantasy draft was Christian McCaffrey. I actually picked him as the first pick in my fantasy draft with all of us in it. And I think it was 95% of first picks picked him as well. Everybody
Derrick Henry's playing better than him this year.
Yeah. Everybody expected him to go off in the first few weeks. Week 1, he had a bit of a struggle. Week 2, we're all sitting down at the edge of our couch like, come on, McCaffrey, you can go. Then he lays on the ground for 5 minutes and doesn't get up, and you're like, no, that's my season. You're sitting there like, you got to be kidding me. Last week, Christian McCaffrey finally got to come back. He finally got to come back. I put him in. I was so happy, and he actually did good. For our league, he got me like 25 points. It was a good week, a good, solid week. But toward the end of the game, you see Christian McCaffrey on the sideline holding his left shoulder in pain. A few days later, the doctor's staff comes out and says he has an injured shoulder and will not be able to play this week. He will most likely come back next week. But if you look at last year during Christian McCaffrey's possible MVP season, Christian McCaffrey fought through 2 injuries that year. And this year, right after his contract is done, isn't fighting through them. So it's a question of, is he now comfortable because he has a good contract now and doesn't need to fight through the injuries? I don't believe he would do that. I think he's a good, solid guy. He is very honest and wants to play football. But there's so much going on, and there's so much that happened last year as well that I don't know what's going on, and I don't know why he hasn't played this season.
It is kind of suspicious that he signs the highest paid running back deal in NFL history and then is now sitting after injuries he's pushed through. Again, I don't believe he would do that. I enjoy watching him play, even though he plays for the Panthers. But yeah, he's just a really good player. I just hope he can get back.
I'm wondering
from his injury next week.
We were talking about COVID earlier in our first video, and the gyms were open most of the year. They didn't open up until like August or September, and that's where I'm wondering if the lack of training, like they didn't have a preseason. The training facilities weren't open until like, I don't know, a week or 2 before the season started. So I maybe it's lack of training. That's all I can think of. But
a question I do have is, if Christian McCaffrey, last year he was saying that I deserve the Kamara type money that he's got now, or the Fournette money he had on the Jaguars, the absurdly high contracts, and he got his money. He got the highest contract in NFL history for a running back. What I'm wondering is, if this year, if I was the owner, I'd let it slide. But if next year, if he keeps getting injured and he can't play, he could be either a major trade person, or he could be even just a release. If he can't stay healthy, you can't really do anything. It doesn't matter how good you are. If you're not on the field, you're not going to be able to play.
Yeah. Okay, so I think Mr. Machine has the other one. High C, is that right?
Yeah, that is right. And I think we've had one laughing What the What, and I think it was the Cowboys. So this is going to be really fun. We're back in Dallas for the 4th What the What about them this year. Give it to us, Mystery Machine.
Okay, their coach puts in their 4th-string quarterback to play in last week's game, and his name is Garrett Gilbert.
Garrett Gilbert.
Yep. The Cowboys are normally the premier franchise in the NFL, being owned by Jerry Jones and having all the big name players back in the day. There's nothing like it today that we are seeing. Them having all the failures that they've had. First Prescott, then Dalton, Ben DiNucci plays trash. Now they're putting Garrett Gilbert.
Do they have a fifth quarterback in the wings for this week? Please.
Actually, they never had Garrett Gilbert until they put Dak Prescott on IR. They signed Garrett Gilbert out of free agency.
So who are they signing now? Is it going to be like a Colin Kaepernick?
I would not be surprised, but I don't know.
I will say Jerry Jones does not support the kneeling, so I highly doubt that he's going to allow a guy to knee. He said at the beginning of the season that none of his players will ever knee, otherwise they will be handled by him. He will have a talk with them. But we can make fun of Garrett Gilbert's name all we want, but his talent, he put up a fight against the Pittsburgh Steelers. He lost 17-23. He threw one touchdown and one interception. One touchdown, one interception.
We're not denying the fact that Garrett Gilbert played amazing. I mean, he played Big Ben, who's probably in the races for MVP this year.
Yeah.
He's had his best season since the Cowboys.
Yeah, and you got to think, having that guy, that future Hall of Famer on the other side of the field watching you, that's got to put some fear in your mind. It's got to make you think, I'm playing this guy that has won a Super Bowl, that's a future Hall of Famer, that comes back from injuries. They call him a monster. He's huge. I'm playing him, and I have to go try and beat him in my first career game. That had to put some fear in his mind, and he put up a fight.
What do you think, Gunslinger, on this?
Well, I think that you could be saying all you want, that Garrett Gilbert put up a fight. Now, as you know, a couple weeks ago, I picked Ben DiNucci, and the Cowboys are dead to me now because they didn't do that. But I think that the entire story of the Cowboys this year has been, well, we were this close. We were this close. That's going to be the entire season. They're going to keep going against bad teams and good teams, and they're always going to get within a touchdown. But they're never quite going to be able to finish it. They never have this season. They never will.
Okay, this is a bold prediction. I was reading Yahoo Sports, prior to the episodes that we recorded today, and I read this. Despite what Jerry Jones thinks, if the Cowboys end up getting a second or third pick in the draft, they pick a guy like Trevor Lawrence. They pick a guy like Justin Fields. That's who they have to pick. I mean, Dak Prescott, he's hurt. They say he's coming back, but what if it happens next year? They need someone like Fields. They need someone like Trevor Lawrence. They need that guy from BYU or the guy from Alabama. They need a quarterback.
Or the guy from North Dakota State.
Yeah, like someone like that. Someone that can mentor under Prescott. Someone that can mentor under Dalton. Just look at the Dolphins. Look at the Chargers. They picked a quarterback when they had both were pretty young. I mean, maybe not Ryan Fitzpatrick. No, he's old. But Tyrod Taylor is moderately. And look what happened. Justin Herbert comes in first season. Tua comes in first season, and now they are playing amazing. So I think the Cowboys need a guy like that to back up Prescott. So that's my prediction.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That'd be interesting. Okay, yeah.
So that's our What the What section. We're going to come up with our next video in just a moment on the same playlist. I'm Bruiser. I'm High C. I got Bruiser, Big Play Nate, Gunslinger, and Mystery Machine with me. If you like this video, please drop a like, subscribe. We'll be right back.